Hello everyone, Arun Vanagopal of WNYC here. It's my pleasure to introduce the Center for Traditional Music and Dances series, Beat of the Boroughs, NYC Online. This online series features over 50 of New York's leading traditional instrumentalists, dancers, singers, poets, and more. From Mongolia to Haiti, Colombia to the Gambia, among many others, they remind us how the strength of our country lies in its embrace of diversity and immigration. We want to celebrate these remarkable members of the New York community in these challenging times. So please enjoy these 50 programs, share them with your friends, and spread the word. Enjoy the show.
Greetings.
Greetings.
So wonderful to be here with you. So I just want to introduce myself. My name is Régine Romain, and I am an artist, educator, visual anthropologist, and a race equity coach. And I am here with a friend, a teacher, a historian, a musicologist. I'm here with a phenomenal human being, and I would love for you to introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm George Vilson. I'm a retired New York City music teacher. And I moved from New York to Florida, and I continue my researches actually. And actually, I had published 2 books, and 3 books actually. The third one just came out. It's mainly about preservation of Haitian folk and Vodou songs.
Yes.
And that's what I'm still working on. And I used to perform on stage, but I don't perform as much as I used to. But I'm really enjoying going to the peristyle and going around the country and listen to folks singing and record their singing and enjoying myself.
Well, I'd like to share how we met. And so I think the first time I met you, George, was at an event in the city. And
in the city, yes.
Yeah, and you were performing, actually. You were performing, and I think it was a Haitian folklore that was being reenacted.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so I think that's
it was about the first book, actually.
Exactly.
The first book came out, and they invited me to perform a few songs, including a few how do you call this again? A few folktale songs that I had in the book too.
Yes.
And I did.
Yeah.
Along with some other artists. We did pretty good there.
Yes.
And that's when we met, actually.
Yeah, so exactly. So that's when we first met. And then we realized how, intertwined we are, both of us being of Haitian descent, Haitian heritage, Haitian people. And you eventually became my teacher. And I'm really excited because we got a grant from NYSCA through CTMD.
CTMD, yeah.
And we were able to spend about 6 months together. 6 months together on a weekly basis or something like that. If it wasn't quite
including going to Haiti.
Including going to Haiti. Including going to visit, I don't know, just wonderful places that I hadn't had a chance to go. And so I was so thankful to be able to travel.
I was Port-de-Paix. We went to
Port-de-Paix, and we were able to go and visit and take part
we went to Ansa-Follet. Grand Saint-Anne.
Yes, exactly. So that was just amazing for me. And some of my favorite photographs are actually from that time. There's a couple of them that are just really, really stunning. And one of the things that I think about and has offered me a lot of comfort during this time. I mean, we know that there are quite a few members in our Haitian community, some of them prestigious educators and doctors that have died of this COVID-19 virus. And so, in considering what has offered me comfort during this time, a big part of it has been relying on our culture, listening to our music, going deeper into the study of who we are, and also recognizing the space in which there are many, many others who are also on that same trajectory, very much understanding how important it is to preserve our culture. And so I thought about having this conversation with you and about your work and about what you do. And so for me, as an anthropologist, as someone who is also an artist, I stepped into a place with you back in 2015. Right, back in
2015 exactly.
Yeah.
Or July 2015.
July 2015, we went to IET. But before that, we started in January, and learning the songs. And so from that time, in that time, I was preparing for a trip. I was preparing for a project that I've been working on called Brooklyn to Benin, a Vodou pilgrimage.
I remember that.
Yes. And so the time that I spent with you going to IET, and then January 2016, I was in Benin. January 2016, I was there. And while I was there, I often listened to the recordings of us in the songs. And some of them are just really, really ingrained in my head. I still am not a better singer, okay? I do my father and all of the members of my family who sing, they may want to disown me. But the thing about understanding our culture and our Vodou songs and our folk songs, it's not so much about how well we can sing, it's just understanding the resonance of the stories, right? It's understanding the power of the narrative and also recognizing the significance of keeping our language. And so I wanted to work with you because I wanted to, make my Creole as better as I could. I wanted to learn the songs. I wanted to be able to step forward in that way. And so I just wanted us to spend a little time just talking about like these books, because one, this is the first, right? The second, and the new one, which I just got. I'm so excited.
That's pretty interesting. Yeah.
Yes. So
it's different. Yeah.
So if you don't mind, just sharing a little bit about what started this, like what made you go into this place, of inquiry around this. I mean, I've read your acknowledgement, and your acknowledgement kind of says it, but everybody out there doesn't know. So if you don't mind, I'd love for you to just share with us the impetus for this research.
Yeah. Anyway, everything is just, I could tell that the folk and Vodou songs are in my blood. I was raised with it. I started singing since I was 7. But again, of course, throughout my whole life, I've done it on and off. But I became a musician, a professional musician. I became a teacher. And then I started going, in 2006, I started going to Haiti to do workshops. Going to the workshops in Haiti, I realized that many of those students that I had, they were not interested in the music of the territory. They were not interested in our folk songs. Not only that, they didn't know them either. Basic songs, like Langen Soleil Levé, they didn't know. Some of them didn't know it. And I said, no. It seems like those songs tend to disappear. You talk about 2006, some young folks don't know these songs. I said, no, there is an issue there. And I started thinking about it. And I remember I was going to Hesh, which is in Plateau Central in Haiti. And then I was with a couple of friends, and I asked them, what do you think if I started compiling those songs and put them in music notations? This way they will be well preserved. It's not just the words, but we're talking about the music. When you put them in music notations, any musicians around the world can play them. Which means even though you don't play music, but you could call a friend of yours that knows how to sing or play any instrument to play those melodies. And this is where the idea has come from. And those guys said, oh, that would be a good idea. I mean, you can do it. And I said, yes, I just wanted to ask you. In fact, I had it in my mind. And believe me, in 2012, I started working on it. And the first book came out in 2013. Yeah. And I started working on it. And I found songs that I was raised with, mostly folk songs. I remember some mumbos and some ungans I met. They were singing songs for me, and I recorded them and asked them about the meanings and started understanding, going deeper into the meanings of the songs. And then the first one came out, and it was a very pleasant book, because most of the songs, most people from my generations, most of them they know them. They were raised with them too. And again, I said, oh, that would be a good idea to go for a second one.
Right.
And when I realized how many songs we have in the Vodou world and folk songs, folktale songs, I said, my goodness. I said, let me continue that research. It felt good though. The first one came out with 101 songs. I said, maybe I should continue with the second one. And the idea of 101 came out with from a friend of mine who would I used to visit a lot, but he lives in New York. And he said, it's like you're teaching us a lesson. Why don't you do it like college? Kandelab 101. I said, okay, if I say Kandelab 101, that seems like this is the first class of folk and voodoo songs I'm teaching. I said, maybe I should have 101 songs in there. And just joking about it, and it came out to reality. And I had 101 songs. The second one came out with 102, and the third one just came out 103. But they're slightly different. There are some differences. Like the third one the songs are mainly found in the north, where from Gonaive all the way to Limonade, you're gonna hear those songs. The third book has some play songs that kids use they use when they're playing with each other.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they sound voodoo, because this is the way of life.
Yes.
When you go to Boroughs, those kids they're singing songs that sound voodoo, even though they're not praising any Lord, not praising any spirit, but it is the sound is
right.
The rhythm that they use it.
Yes.
And that's what I have in the third book. That's what makes it different, though.
Okay, so do you mind if we go through our just a few songs? I want from the first one. We're gonna go from the first, second to the third, and I want to do the songs I remember.
Okay.
The ones that we did, and we also had a chance to perform together. But there's a song, and also the other thing. Can you talk about that? This is a notated Haitian folk and voodoo song. So what does that mean for folks who don't understand? What does it mean that it's notated? And then also, you also provide a CD. Can you just talk about that? I'm going to find the songs. Can you talk about it being notated?
Yeah, notated means they are in music notation.
Mm-hmm.
Music notation, which means any musician can play that. Those are conventional music notation that musician can use, and that's one way to preserve it. And if you don't know how to sing, if you don't know how to read music, actually read the notations, they come with a CD. Each book comes with a CD. It's a set of 4 CDs, where we have CDs 1 and 2. They have the sound of the music played by a piano. So this way, if you're not too good at reading, you could always get the sound of the music and the rhythm.
Okay.
And CDs 3 and 4, I sing all the songs with real drums, with drummers, and it makes a difference. With those singers, those artists who like to sing voodoo songs or folk songs, they will use the CDs 3 and 4, and they can sing along with me.
Absolutely.
So this is what I did.
And so the other thing too that you notate in it is actually the rhythms. So can you also speak to that? Because you have petrol, you have nago. Can you talk about wangolo? You have different rhythms. So can you talk about that?
Yeah, different rhythms, because in Haiti we come from different places. We have people coming from different places where they have the Igbo tribes. They come with the Igbo. They have the Nago. They have the Petro. They have different types. So I took time to place the rhythm under the title. This way people don't get confused. Because I don't want you to play a Petro using a Congo drum, using a Congo rhythm.
Yes.
It may work, but something may not happen.
Right.
You're losing a soul there. Because the rhythm of a Petro song is made simply for Petro. You may want to place it somewhere else, but it may lose certain things.
Right.
So I took the time to place the rhythm under them, like the one go like Jumba, like Yanvalu, like Igbo, Banga, very beautiful stuff.
So the one that I remember, and I really like this song, and I remember I used to sing this when I was in Benin, and it was a great comfort to me. And it's on page 75, and it's a Mascaron rhythm. Yes. Okay, so I'm just gonna hum. Okay, I'm not gonna sing. But can we sing it a little bit, or hear you sing it?
My goodness.
Yes.
Voice is not warm yet, but okay. Dirige la kwa kote moun yo. Top City resta la kwa Wal fe vi on la kwa Wal fe vi on la kwa Mazaka la kwa kote moun yo. Dirige la kwa kote moun yo. Top City resta la kwa Top Lope resta la kwa
Woo! I love it. Okay, that was one of my favorites. Okay, then there's another one that we did. There's so many.
We did a lot of them.
We did a lot of them. We did we do a Legba song? No. Oh, let's do on page 58. This one's a Congo rhythm.
That's it.
Yes.
Let's do it together.
Okay. Okay.
Tout le monde passe à moi. La pluie tombée, moi pas mouillé. La chimenteye. Tout le monde passe à moi. La chimenteye, colobri. La pluie tombée, moi pas mouillé. La chimenteye. La chimenteye. La chimenteye, colobri. La pluie tombée, moi pas mouillé. La chimenteye. Tout le monde passe à moi. La chimenteye, colobri. La pluie tombée, moi pas mouillé. La pluie tombée, moi pas mouillé. La pluie tombée, moi pas mouillé.
Yes, that's right.
That's a beautiful song.
That's such a beautiful song.
Beautiful song. My goodness.
So why don't we translate it for folks who may not know and are listening but are like, what does that mean? So can you translate it and tell us what the song is about?
This is Le Grand Chemin. It's like when you go to for instance, when you go to the countryside, there are some roads that are very narrow. Mm-hmm. Some of them are much bigger. This is the narrow ones get to the big ones. That's what they call the Grand Chemin.
Yes.
And it's like you're saying, Le Grand Chemin Teye, while I'm going to Grand Chemin, everyone who's passing by is just not cursed at me. He's just trying to annoy me, say something bad about me.
Ridicule
Me, exactly. La pluie tombe, moi pas mouillé. The rain is falling, but I'm not wet.
Yes.
It's some kind of way to say that even when they bad mouthing about me, I have my own power.
That's right.
And they don't know about it.
Yes.
Imagine the rain is falling and I don't get wet.
That's right.
You know, this is what this song is about.
And that's the magic of who we are as Haitian people. Because
colibri is a bird. It's a little bird that has this multicolored bird, and it's like talking to a bird, telling them, you know, those folks are talking about me.
Yes.
The rain is falling. I don't even get.
Exactly.
And you're just being nice.
That's it. And also, I guess Le Grand Chemin can also be symbolic of life. So we are in the big road of life, right? We are in the big, we're in the big road of life. We're walking our path, but yet here we are with people that are bad mouthing us, that are talking negative stuff. But you know, I'm walking in the rain and I do not get wet. So
exactly. So
it's one of those.
We use a lot of symbols now in Vodou.
Yes.
Oh my
Absolutely.
goodness. What you hear not exactly, I mean, you may want to translate it literally.
Right.
But when you look back, you say, oh, they're talking about something much bigger than that.
Exactly.
It's much bigger than just a road or a bird or rain. It's much bigger than that.
Yes.
Like nothing phases me. I'm so powerful. I don't care what people say.
That's it. And I think the thing for me, one of the reasons why I really appreciated this is because at times in life, wherever it is that we are, we feel like we're alone. And so this is really a song. This is a song for encouragement. This is a song about knowing who you are, standing strong and understanding that we have our power. Like stand within your power is really what one of the things I get from that song. I'm trying to think, what's the song that you said, is it in this book or is it in the next book? Remember the song that you said that you learned, let's do Ibo Lele. And then I'm gonna think about, there's another song that you said that you learned from what, so remember when we were in Haiti? But Ibo Lele is on 38.
Mm-hmm. Is it from a lady, Setano?
Yes. Yeah. How's that go?
Setano, y'a dit mouvant. Is that what it is?
It could have been that one. I remember that you included it, but I'm trying to think. Oh, I know. Okay, so I definitely want to see this one. I want to do the Obatala, but let's do the Ibo Lele, and then I want to do one from the other. So you can pick the ones, but I remember that I studied this one, so I'm a little biased.
Which one is that?
So this one, I think we did on page 38.
Ibo Lele. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna listen to you, George. Okay.
What about you?
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Ibo Lele. Give me a second. I will see.
Yeah.
No, this is different. It's another Ibo Lele.
That's a different one. Okay, so that's not the one. We don't have to do that one. We can find that one. That's a different one. But let's do 93, page 93. This is one of my favorite songs.
Which one?
This Obatala song.
Okay. Yeah, this is a nice song.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a Nago song. It's like a war song, actually.
Yes.
This is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so batalai. Yeah, so batalai. Batala selwa le mae. Batala selwa di fevre. Yeah, le so batalai. Yeah, le so batalai. Yeah, le so batalai. Batala selwa le mae. Batala selwa di fevre. Yeah, le so batalai. It's a beautiful song.
What?
Nice, beautiful melodies. My goodness.
Oh my God. And so basically, one of the things that in understanding that this is a Vodou song, and this is a song that is for Ogun Obatala, but understanding that part of the tradition in Vodou is one in which that we have many, many nations that are present. And so Obatala within the Yoruba tradition is a different deity than Ogu. But in the historical preservation of calling on these deities, they merge. And so this song is called Obatala, but this song is a song for Ogu.
For Ogu Ferai.
For Ogu Ferai. And so basically this song says that this is a god of fire, right? That this is real fire, like you don't want to play.
Yeah.
And one of the things that's beautiful is that when we think about historic dates like Wakaima, which is the 14th of August, right? 1791. When we think about how can we honor our ancestors, how can we honor those that came before us, how can we add fuel to the fire today? There's an uprising that's happening in the United States, right? Right now at this time, that has been sparked by the murder of George Floyd, the murder of Breonna Taylor, the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. There are too many names. There are too many, right? But when we think about how can we deal with the trauma of domestic terrorism, which is what it is, right? How do we deal with that? Is that we have to return to our culture. We have to return to a space in which we have power. And that is what is so significant when we think about the place that Black people have around the world. And the reason why our movement in the Haitian people has always been of resistance and has always been in the place of pushing freedom first. So knowing your culture, knowing your music allows you the fuel to push forward in times of tribulation. And so that's a big part of one of the reasons why I wanted to learn this music and I wanted to study with you, because I wanted to take the time to take a part of which I didn't know. The Ghanaian tradition, they have they have these Adinkra symbols, and one of the Adinkra symbols is called Sankofa. And Sankofa is symbolized in two ways. One of a shape of a heart, and the other of a bird looking backwards, right? So for me, in understanding that though I was not born in Haiti, I am a Haitian of the diaspora. They call me Timunki Sotlo Boglo. That's fine. You can call me that. You can call me Diaspora. You can call me what you want, okay? But I'm clear that I'm Haitian, and I have no problem to be able to turn my back and to hold forth the truth and knowledge and power of my ancestry. So another song, and then we're going to go to the other books. What about this one on page 98? This one's a popular song.
Yeah.
This is a popular folk song. Panama Tombe.
Yeah, popular folk song, yeah.
Yes.
Moi sorti la ville Jacmel, moi poilé la vallée. Et moi yve Kafou Benin, Panama moi tombé. Moi sorti la ville Jacmel, moi poilé la vallée. Et moi yve Kafou Benin, Panama moi tombé. Panama moi tombé. Panama moi tombé. Panama moi tombé, ça qui d'ailleurs ramassez-les pour moi. Panama moi tombé. Panama moi tombé. Panama moi tombé, ça qui d'ailleurs ramassez-les pour moi.
Yes.
I remember when I was growing up, most artists that I knew that you hear on the radio, they all sang that song.
Yes.
Going from Gidjo to all these orchestras that were playing, all those bands, they had to play Panama moi tombé.
Yes.
It's a beautiful song.
It's a beautiful. Okay, so let's go to this one.
This one,
yeah.
Number 2.
Yeah, number 2. Let's see.
I know you learned a couple of songs from number 2.
Yes. So is this the one? Didn't we do a song called how's it go? For Dambala. A Dambala? I'm trying to remember. There's so many. There's so many in here. Which one do you think you want to do?
I don't know.
Okay, let's see. Do we have one? We have a lot. What would you say that a lot of the music from this book came from?
Those are beautiful songs. There's a beautiful song there. Most of them come from They have a lot of them from the south. We're talking about from Leogan,
Okay.
and mainly from the west too, but
Yes.
not much from the north.
Right.
It's mainly from Leogan, not too far from Leogan, and mainly in the west if you find it too.
Right.
Yeah.
So this one, I'm trying to think.
They have a nice song called Abraham.
Okay.
Abraham. It's like a song that they sing mainly for. I remember they was to sing it in funeral, for instance.
Okay.
You know, when a Vodou priest or Mambo passes away. So they sing this song.
All right. What page is that?
It's page 13.
Okay.
I went to which place again? Woodstock, and I had a performance there in Woodstock.
Okay.
With yeah, that's what it is. And in New York is upstate New York.
Okay.
And they had me sing that song, and people were like amazed with the sound from the song. And I had some good drummers too.
Now, what is this rhythm? Where this rhythm?
Womble means you're gonna roll the drum. Roll. There is no restraint of time. No restraint of time. It's just roll, let go. It's an ad lib.
Okay. All right, so you're gonna sing this one. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. Abraham, wale. I don't skip la la Abraham, wale. I don't skip la la Jouke lale, nous tout café pour nous, and the whole Persian would answer, Abraham wale. Ou gan nous tout café pour nous. Abraham wale. Mambo nous tout café pour nous. Abraham wale. Nous kon nous tout café pour nous. Abraham wale. Abraham wale. I don't need to tell la Abraham, wale. I don't need to tell la Nous pelale, nous tout café pour nous. Abraham, wale. Nous gagnons tout café pour nous. Abraham, wale. Mambo nous tout café pour nous. Abraham, wale. Nous connaissons tout café pour nous. Abraham, wale.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. When you have a nice choir singing behind you.
Yes.
That time when I was singing, there was about I had a band of 8 people. They were all singing that song. Oh my goodness. It was beautiful. And there was in unison, no harmony.
I mean, one of the things that I appreciate about your work, George, is that you took the time to notate it, right? So that means for those of us who may or may not play music, but we can work with those who do, and we can preserve it. And then what I love about it is, I just love the fact that you have the CD. Now, this one is one of my favorites. This one's on page 46.
Yeah, that's a nice song.
Yes.
You want to sing it?
No. No. That's huge.
Mon poilé ouais côté les bas commandé on nous marche pas par les coins on nous marche mon poilé ouais ça que la cala mon poilé ouais côté les bas commandé.
Yes. Commandé. I love that one, and that one is basically one's it's almost like a marching song. It's forward. Like we're calling on this deity of Legba to open the road, and we're going to see where Legba directs us. So we are clear that we
exactly. Let's walk together. Let Legba.
Exactly. Let Legba open the road.
We're gonna
Okay.
see what's going on at home.
Yes.
And let Legba take the lead. Let him take the
Exactly.
lead.
Now that one is a parigol. What does that mean?
It's a rhythm.
It's a rhythm. Yeah.
It's a rhythm.
So like it's from where is it from? Like
I'm not sure it's from. It's something. It's you only feel the feeling, not from. I mean, I don't know exactly where it's from.
Okay.
Some of those rhythms I don't really. I've done some research, but some of them I can. Let's say Wongol. I don't know where Wongol is from.
I think it's from the Congo. Because
Probably.
it's from the Congo because the story of Wongo is about the king of the Congo. So it's probably from there. All right. Yeah. So this is the second book, and now
that's the newborn baby.
This is the new book. This is the new one, Kandelab 103. But one of the things I realize is that we have not discussed the title. So can you tell us what inspired the title and what exactly does Kandelab mean?
At first, I wanted to work with the numbers, do something special. Call the first book 101, so-and-so, and the second 702. And I was advised by, in fact, from CTND, a gentleman from CTND. I spoke to him, I don't remember his name, very nice guy. He told me, that's not the title. You got to find a title.
Right.
You got a series of books that are coming. They cannot be called 101, 102. Right. There should be a title.
Yeah.
And then 101, 102 with a subtitle.
Right.
And I realized that there is a plant in Haiti that they use as a fence for you to protect your territory, your land. You don't have to use wood or anything. There is a plant that grows very fast. It's a wild plant.
Yes.
It's called Kandelab. That the peasants in Haiti use to protect their plants. And for some reason, I said, this is exactly what I'm doing with the book, trying to preserve
absolutely
the songs. And that's exactly what happened. I said, Kandelab. So I'm going to call it Kandelab. So the whole series is called Kandelab. Yes. Everything I do is Kandelab nowadays.
Yes.
Everything I put out is Kandelab.
Yeah.
So that's what Kandelab is. It's a plant in Haiti that we use as a fence for land.
And also the other thing that's significant is that it's like a candelabra. It looks like a lamp because the way that it grows, right? So it kind of has that look. So that's one of the reasons why it's called the Kandelab, which is, so it denotes how the plant looks. And is it a type of cactus?
It's a type of cactus, exactly.
Right. So
they have two types. One of them is like a cactus. The other one is like it's not a cactus. It's like a bunch of needles that goes down.
So what I like about that, because the cactus is no joke, right? You do not play with the cactus. So we also cannot play with our culture. We also cannot play with not knowing who we are, not knowing our traditions, not knowing. And so this work that you're doing with Kandelab is very much a work of preservation, but also it's like that fence that's going around, and it's to ensure that it is not harmed. It is ensured that it is in the hands of those people. The challenge that I often have with the culture of Black and Brown people is that we are not always the ones that are telling our stories. We are not always the ones that are at the forefront. Someone else comes to visit, whether they're an anthropologist, whether they're this, whether they're that, and then they become an expert on something that is not of their culture. Not to say that they shouldn't study it, not to say that they shouldn't, but I do think that it's important that those of us that descend from particular heritage, from particular people, that we get to know our own culture and be active in the participation of its preservation. So now, have you chosen some songs from here?
Songs, let me see. There is a song. There's a nice song that I like to sing. It's called Malet.
Okay, what page is that?
I'll find out now.
Okay.
It's on page 100.
Page 100. Okay, here we are.
It's a Congo.
Okay. I'll tell you, it's a Congo. Okay.
Malet ve, oh, ala kot moun malet ve, oh. Maledve o, ala kot moun maledve o, maledve o, maledve o. Le organo yo fem maloneto, maledve o, ala kot moun maledve o, maledve o, ala kot moun maledve o, maledve o, maledve o. Le organo yo fem maloneto. It's a very nice folk song. You know? Apparently something happened to some group of people when they went to Leogan, and for some reason they didn't treat them well.
Hey.
So they say they're maledve.
Yes.
I mean, they don't have the good manners.
Yes.
This is a nice folk song.
Okay, nice folk song. Okay, so let's see. Do you have some of the children's songs? Is there one in here that you want to highlight?
Let me see. It's 36. Let me see. Wow. On 53.
All right, page 53. All right.
Ati agombo sa ki mande pou mwen, ati agombo sa ki mande pou mwen, dim se ren nan peyi mwen. Ati agombo sa ki mande pou mwen, ati agombo sa ki mande pou mwen, dim se ren nan peyi sa, ati agombo sa ki mande pou mwen. Simple things.
Yes.
Simple.
So what does this one mean? What does this one mean?
Atia Gombo. I don't know. I'm not sure about this. Atia Gombo. I know this is the first time I heard it from a mambo. She's from Deyal in Limonade. And Atia Gombo, that could be the name of somebody. And or could be a name of some kind of local spirits from this area itself.
Right.
That could be just it. And Kisak Mande pour moi, who's asking about me? And whoever is asking about me, tell them I'm the queen in that area. That's what it is. That's basically what it is.
So basically, let them know. Whoever's asking, let them know who's in the house. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. What about this one on page 107?
On 107. Give me a second. 107. Yeah. If I remember it. Nago papiti uvle pale nago malago e. Olisha nago uvle pale nago malago e. Uvle pale nago mal. Olisha nago e. Nago papiti uvle pale nago malago e. Olisha nago uvle pale nago malago e. Uvle pale nago mal. Olisha nago e.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, well, those are very nice pieces.
Yeah, that one's a nice one. Now, what about this one here on 111?
111. Let me find out. Ogu c'est pas ogu ça e fe yo. Mais ogu c'est pas ogu ça e o fe yo. C'est pas peut-être cabrito pour me quitter diable à manger dans la cour.
And so, yeah, so this, go ahead.
C'est musique point. L'on voit toya sur le monde. You know, music point. When you say something, but whoever has a problem with you knows exactly that you're talking about him or her.
Right.
It's a music point, sorry.
Yes. Okay. So that one's not a joke. So what about this one on and now let's make this one our last one, but on 122, on page 122.
122. C'est la vie, oh, c'est la vie, m'a cherché. C'est la vie, oh, c'est la vie, m'a cherché. C'est la vie, oh, c'est la vie, m'a cherché. Pour mes enfants mieux manger. C'est la vie, oh, c'est la vie, m'a cherché. C'est la vie, oh, c'est la vie, m'a cherché. C'est la vie, oh, c'est la vie, m'a cherché. Pour mes enfants mieux manger. It's a nice picture.
Yes.
I may miss a couple of notes, but basically that's what it is.
So what's that one about? That one's
C'est la vie, c'est la vie. That's the way life is. I'm looking for a better life. I'm looking for a better life so I could feed my kids.
Yes.
C'est la vie, oh, c'est la vie, m'a cherché.
Yeah.
C'est la vie, oh, c'est la vie, m'a cherché. I'm looking for a good life. C'est la vie, oh, c'est la vie, m'a cherché. Pour mes enfants mieux manger. So I'm looking for a better life to feed my kids.
Yes. And I'm thinking about, this one made me think about a song. Oh, it made me think about one in this book.
The first, you're going back to the first book.
Going back to the first one. So it makes me think about this one on 112.
This one you're gonna have to sing.
Wait.
You're gonna have to do it. You're gonna have to do it. Saint Jacques par là, c'est Chantilly. Saint Jacques par là, c'est Chantilly. Saint Jacques par là, c'est moi. Saint Jacques par là, c'est Chantilly. Saint Charles par là, c'est Chantilly. Saint Jacques par là, c'est moi. Saint Jacques par là, c'est moi. Saint Jacques par là, c'est moi.
So that one is another song. It's a Nago rhythm. Saint Jacques is a deity, and basically saying that, you know, he's not here, right? Basically saying that. Right.
Which means whoever is replacing him. I mean, whoever is is replacing Saint Jacques. Whoever is in the house of Saint Jacques is here. But be careful, even when Saint Jacques is not here, the place is dangerous. The dog can bit you.
Yes. Yes. So basically be careful, beware, right? So it's a song of admonishment, right? And so one of the things that I realized when I was learning these songs with you, George, is that in essence, all of these folk songs are very much the words of the people, right? And so it's the experience of the people. So if they're suffering, if they're angry, if they're hungry.
That's the folk part of it.
Yeah. Exactly, that's the folk part. And so these are the songs that speak to that experience. And then there are songs that are songs of...
especially dedicated to the spirits.
Exactly, especially dedicated to the spirits.
That talk directly to them.
Exactly. And so I just found it to be so exciting, liberating, educational, necessary in this work as a cultural producer, in this work as a researcher, to do this research for myself, but also I encourage everyone else to get on board, to get your copies, right? Because it isn't so much that we want to make George rich, but we do want to make George rich. Why not?
You can get rich off of work.
Exactly. Let's make George rich. But it's not just that. It's really about make yourself rich, making ourselves. And I know that for myself, in studying, in the work that I've done with you and having these resources, they're for me. They're for eternity. They're ones that I can pass on to my daughter, because my daughter, she's Haitian, her father is African-American. Whether it's your half, Chinese and Haitian, or even if you are not Haitian at all, but you're very much engaged and want to know about the culture, this is a part of the way. And through song is a fundamental way that to engage with our culture. Yeah.
That's a fun way to do it too.
Yes, and it's fun, right?
Definitely.
It's
Singing
fun.
is always,
It's always fun. And anytime that you have the drums, it's even better.
My
So
goodness.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you for taking this time. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for just this path that we were able to go down memory lane and just think about and celebrate. Because really and also the other thing, George, how long, if you just tell us, how long does each book take to do? Because I actually was with you in IT and with you as you were going and doing some of your research, but you have 3 books, and how long have you found that they've taken?
Actually, since if everything is done, after you collected all the songs, writing the songs may take about a good 2 months, and to write and then to edit everything. But if you now going for research mixed with recording and pick and choose which rhythm, sometimes the rhythm can be very confusing. So you have to go into the past, the one that you've done before, and see the resemblances. Look at the rhythms and the melody, the rhythm of the melody itself. And you decide. It takes a long time. It takes a good, among other things, you're talking about a good 7-8 months.
Wow.
Focused on that.
Yes.
But this is not, it's not just what you do. Let's say, since I have my own personal life, other things to do, it takes about a month, a year and a half for one. Yeah. For instance, now it takes less time.
Because you're not teaching anymore.
I'm not teaching anymore.
Yeah.
And then because of the confinement, I stay home and I do work. That's why number four is coming out sometime in January, February.
Wow. Number 4? You have number 4 already? Hey!
Number 4 is coming out. Yeah, I'm working on it.
Hey! I just want to say, I guess that's, if there's anything that we can say that this confinement has provided for us, it's a time to go in, right? A time to go into reflection, and a time to forge forward, like George, with our work, right? So this just came out, right? It just came out July, right? And so now January, we can look forward to part 4. So I'm going to be playing my music that accompanies this and listen to the rhythms and the songs and start just kind of allowing them to just kind of come in and learn the words. And also the other thing for me that I think is great, as someone who was born a Haitian speaking Creole, but then going to school in the United States, kind of losing it along the way, is that it reinforces the language. It reinforces the culture. So there's expressions, there's ways of being that someone predominantly living in the United States that I may not know. But now the music gives it to me. And so I'm able to now have this fluidity within the culture that is mine, right?
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Very good.
All right. So any parting words you wanna send out there for those of us that are still in quarantine, for those of us that are still...
And if you like to sing, it's good to buy the CDs and the book. You can sing along with the CDs and the music is there. And then join us. Let's move. You don't have to be Haitian to learn the culture. That musical part of it, you should be able to have it. It's beautiful. Absolutely. It's interesting. And hopefully, soon I will have to have a workshop in many places in the US so people can enjoy it better. If I'm there present and we're gonna have a workshop on Congo and Igbo, for instance.
Yes.
That would be nice. Maybe a 3-day workshop, one on Congo, Igbo, Yanvalu and Nago, another one on Petro and Banda. That would be so nice.
Well, I mean, then maybe that's something that we can look forward to, because right now we can try to make it work on Zoom, Let's see. But anyway, I want to say thank you.
I thank you too. I thank you much.
Thank you. All right, and have a wonderful afternoon.
You enjoy yours too. Thank you. I
Okay.
appreciate it.
All right. Peace.